So, hello class. This is our C++ programming class. So, in the previous lecture, we have learned about the if-else statement. So, in this video, we are going to see its practical approach. For this purpose, I have two questions for you, and one of them is that there are three numbers given. Suppose they are stored in A, B, C variable. I have told you the variables. You can just check that video. So in ABC variables, there are stored three numbers, and you have to find maximum of these three numbers. All right. So what you approach you can just think about it. All right. So first one is that simply use maximum operator, but with maximum operator you can find the maximum between only two. Another way is use maximum, inside that use another maximum. This is nested one, then find a and b, and then again find x. But this approach will not work. If you think deeply, it will work. You have to think a lot. But what if I just simply give you task and you do it in simple manner? So for simple manner, let me just explain you the concept. So for this purpose, see, for this, see, we are having three numbers. So any one of this, that is either A, either B, or C, can be greatest. So A is greatest when A is greatest. A is greatest when it is both greater than B and greater than C. All right. And when B is greater, when B is greater than A and greater than C. All right. C. And when C is greater, when C is greater than A and C is greater than B. So see, this is the very simple thing you can think. All right. So when A is greatest, when it is greater than B and C both. When B is greater than greatest, when it is greater than both A and C. When C is greatest, when it is greater than both A and B. All right. I think you have got the logic. You can check it also. Just like I take 2, 5, and this 1. So what is greatest? Greatest is 5, and for 5, that is B to be greatest. It is greater than this one A or 2, and it is greater than C, that is 1 also. All right. So you can think like this. So when we go to code, then now you will get better understanding how if else is using. But in this question, we only need if, because there are three numbers. All right, there are three numbers, and if they are distinct, then only one of them is greatest. So why it is need to check for else? Just simply write three if statements. Just think like that. You can build logic with this. See, just write three different ifs. If any one of them is encountered, then it will execute those statements. And see, in if nested, sorry, not nested, if in the if and only if I have explained you in my conditional control lecture. Please go through that video also. That if there are multiple if statements, then if suppose there are three if statements, two of them are fully satisfied, then both will execute. If three of them, all of them are satisfied, then all of them will execute. If one of them is satisfied, then only one, and if none of them, then none will. But here, think, when the three numbers are distinct, so greatest will be only one number only, and so all the others will be truncated. Because see, think that when 5 is greatest, all right, when 5 is greatest, then there is no question that, or no logic that another number is greatest, because the greatest number is only one when there are three distinct numbers. All right. So now how to code? Just go to our compiler. All right. Now what is, we use a library hash include gets std, because I don't want to. I think I am a lazy type person. I just included all the libraries at once so that I can use any one of them. Alright, now using namespace std. Now what? Into main. Now what? See, just to optimize your speed, just write whatever is permanent, just write return 0 here. Then you have to declare three variables that are int a, b, and c. This is declaration. See, there is difference between declaration and what definition. Declaration is what just define and just produce those variables. Just assign the numbers to the memory chunks, and numbers or sorry is I can say that identify or the names to the memory chunks in the RAM. And when what is the that is that is declaration, and what that is definition. So definition was to define that variables, or you can say that functions. Functions are also type of variables which return some values. So this will be, and that will be covered in the function chapter. Now what are these three variables? See, I have told you in C++ you don't need to order the console like in Java. So you can directly input three variables A, B, and C. Alright, just for sake of the small length video, I am taking writing like this. Now what are the conditions? I have told you that for A to be greatest, A must be greater than B, and what C you can write in the both ways, that this like this also and like this also, but this is valid in C plus. Alright, so A is greater than B and A must be greater than C. This is C and means that both conditions has to be satisfied. Like here I have explained that if A is greatest, then A must be greater than B and must be greater than C. See, look at emphasize, put emphasis on this word must. Alright, so what you are going to print? You are going to print A, or you can assign it value A equals is maximum. All right, so now can end line, we have to end the line. So what you have generated logic for A, so similarly you can generate logic for B and C, but for the coding speed, C you have know that for the B and C similar logic will be applied. So just copy down the code, don't write everything just here. So what I have written, and one thing let me explain. See, if there is a predefined function in the program, and that is if is a predefined one, so and after that only one line has to be executed, then there is no need to write the curly braces. If there are more than one lines, then you need to write curly braces like in the next question we will be having. So please watch the video carefully. Now change the condition, because all the three conditions we have copied are for A. Now for B is to be maximum, what is that? B is to be greater than A. B is to be greater than A. And what? B is to be greater than C. Then what is going to be greatest? B is maximum. So where B is maximum, and here also B. Similarly for C. For C to be greatest, it must be greater than B, and C must be greater than A also. Alright. So just like write like this. So here what we will get, C will be greater. C is maximum. Now run this code. Before running, let me copy this code. See, this return 0 will return to the operating system the value 0, and what value 0 represents in the main program, that the program has successfully executed without throwing any error. Let me show you that. Right, just write I am writing three numbers. I am taking random three numbers like 4, right, and then 8, and then what 5. So what B is equals to 8 is maximum. Alright, you have got from here. Again, if I take any other values like 10, and then what 3, and what 8, then what A is maximum. Again, the conditions are checked. Again, if I take another example, that 10, 20, and 100, then what? 100 is maximum. I think you have got the logic. All right. So let's move towards our second question. And the second question is what? Find second maximum among B numbers. So what are these three numbers? Second maximum. How to find second maximum is what? If A is greatest, then what is if suppose this is order, so what? B is second maximum. All right. So like this we have to calculate. So think similarly in this way. When A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then A is greatest already. Now what is left? Now left is that the second greatest will be among between the left variable, that is B and C. So how we can write? See, this is compulsory because we have to find the greatest, then only we can reach the second greatest in when we think in most simple way. All right. So because you have just started with the coding, so think in simple manner and draw the logics. So when A is the greatest, A is greatest. So for B and C to B or C to be greatest, if B is second greatest, sorry, not greatest, that is second greatest, B should be greater than C. All right. Then when A is greatest, then B will be second greatest. If this is not possible, this is not true, then automatically C will be greater than B, and what? A is already greatest, so C will be second greatest. Similarly, you can write for other two conditions, that when B is greatest, then the second greatest will be among from A and C. When C is greatest, then the second greatest will be among from between from the A and B. All right. So just write the code. See, as you are saying that these conditions are necessary, so we can keep these conditions necessary, and we can keep these conditions with us. Now there will be more than two statements, because now in this program you are going to see the nested conditional statements. What is nested? One and one in other one, one inside another. So what if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then for now we have to compare between two numbers, that is what are left behind, B and C. So how we can compare that? Like this, if. So this is when if B is greater than C, then what we have to print? That we have to print C out what C, or sorry, B, just simply write B is greatest, second greatest, is second greatest. All right. Now we write EN PL. Okay. Have you got this? If this is, and if this condition fails, then we have alternate option, that this what? C out C is second greatest. All right. I think this is understood. EMDA. All right. Similarly, see, this is logic generated for B or C, or when the A is greatest. So you are having the same logics for other ones. Just like when B is greatest, then the second will be second greatest will be among A and C, and when C is greatest, then second greatest will be among the what? A and B. So just without for making our speed optimized, we are using just these statements. See, this copy paste will help in the what? In writing you program faster. All right. So now I paste this to here and this also here. So when B is greatest, what? The check will be done with what? A and C. And when A is greater than C, then A is second greatest, and otherwise C will be second greatest. Similarly, when C is greatest, then what the comparison in between A and B. So when B is greater than A, then B is second greatest, else A is the second greatest. If I run this program and I enter three numbers, like I enter 8, then I enter 0. Let me show you the terminal. Then if I enter the number 10, then second greatest should be 0. Sorry, I think this is what this is. There is some error here. If C is greater than this and this, so C is greatest. All right, C is greatest. Then what? B is greater than A. Yes, A is second greatest. There is no error because the greatest is 8 and 10, and then 8, then 0. All right. So I think you have got the logic. Please see this code again and try to solve on your own. But if you get any error, then go through this. Now, time for the assignment question. So there are two similar assignment questions. Two assignment questions. First is what? Find minimum among three numbers. And second is what? Find second minimum among three numbers. So hope you guys have enjoyed this lecture. Please share the video and subscribe to the channel. Please. Thank you very much.